Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel Neha Jani Classes. Hello students. In this video, I'm continuing with chapter 1 of class 11 Business Studies, Evolution and Fundamentals of Business. So let's get started. Taking up the first topic today, objectives of business. Now, what are objectives of business? In the previous class, we've understood what is business, its classification into industry and commerce, what is industry all about, what is commerce all about, all that we've already understood and we fairly well know now. So what are objectives? Objectives, as we all know, are the end goals. They are the end targets that any company or any business wants to achieve. So every business is directed towards achievement of certain objectives. These are called as objectives of the business. Now, before setting the objective, one thing that a businessman should be very clear that these objectives should be realistic. We cannot make any vague objective that can never be achieved. So objectives should be realistic. Also, they should be measurable. At the end of the year, at the end of a quarter, at the end of 6 months, we should be able to measure as to how much of the objective is achieved and how much yet remains to be achieved. So it should be measurable and it should be realistic. So the objective can be as simple as earning a higher profit. Let's say the objective can be increase in 5% of the profit, or whatever was the last year, increase in 5% of the profit. So that is realistic and that is achievable, and also that can be measured. Another objective can be maybe increase in the number of customers. An objective can also be something like protecting the environment. Yes, students, that can also be an objective. When you're living in a society, when you're working in the society, you also have to work for the betterment of the society and the community. So protecting the environment, saving the environment from any kind of pollution or harm can also be your objective. So those are the objectives of business. On that, we classify the business objectives into economic and social objectives. Children, by now you all must have understood that economic is related to money. So economic activities are all related to money. So economic objectives are also related to earning profit and earning money. So economic objectives will include, number one, earning profit. So that is why every business thrives to achieve its objective. The earning profit, it's the basic target or the basic objective of any business, as we all know that no business can survive without profit. So that becomes your first economic objective. Market standing is to earn a good market share. For example, Parle-G on the packet and on the advertisement also you must have read and heard that Parle-G is the world's largest selling biscuit. Now it is only being majorly it is being sold in India, but then again it becomes the world's largest selling biscuit because it has a good market standing. And that is what another objective is, that every business wants to achieve as much market share as possible. Okay. Next, we talk about innovation. Innovation is thinking out of the box. It is being creative. It is coming up with new ideas and new products. And not just new ideas and new products. Innovation can also be improvement in an already existing product. So when you think of something new, it is innovation. And if your innovation works well, you earn more profit. So that is why it comes under economic objective. For example, Tata Nano, when it was launched, Mr. Ratan Tata had the idea and the vision to launch a car which is affordable by every middle class Indian family. So that although it did not do well, that's another part of the story, but that is an example of innovation. Apple keeps coming out with new products every now and then. That is innovation. So innovation is coming with new ideas, new products, new services for the betterment of the society. The next economic objective is optimum, or you say the maximum utilization of resources. So like we know, resources are scarce. They need to be used optimally. They have to be used to the best without any wastage. And last but not the least is about improving productivity. Improving productivity means increase in the production without wasting resources. So productivity is how efficiently are you able to convert your raw material into your finished goods. So that is about improving productivity. Talking about the social objectives are decided and are planned keeping in mind the society, the welfare of the society. Since the business is operating in the society, it must have certain social objectives like providing good quality goods and services at fair prices. So you definitely have to provide goods which are of superior quality and are not hazardous to the health of the consumers. Your goods should be of superior quality and also be sold at fair price. So if you are selling any item that is edible, it should not be adulterated. If you're selling any electronic item, it should be of superior quality and it should be ISI marked. So the goods and services that you're selling should be of good quality, and not just quality, they should also be sold at reasonable fair prices. So that is the first social objective. Second is avoidance of anti-social unfair trade practices. So by unfair trade practices means we should refrain from any kind of hoarding and black marketing, and not be indulging in any kind of not anti-social activities. Generation of employment means increasing more and more employment opportunities so that many people can work under your business and be employed and be able to earn their living. So that is generation of employment. Employee welfare. In this topic, we talk about the benefit of the workers who are working in our business. We are talking about the welfare of the employees. So their welfare can be thought about through better salaries, through higher remuneration, giving them trainings, getting them enrolled into development programs, also giving them good working environment, so an environment in which they can give their 100%, a less a stress-free environment maybe. And last but not the least is community service. Community service is thinking of the society by donating, by giving free food packets, by working towards the natural calamity victims. All that will come under community service. Welcome students. In this video, I'm going to be discussing about the remaining topics of the first chapter in Business Studies class 11th, Evolution and Fundamentals of Business. So I'm left with business risk. The other topics have already been discussed in the previous videos. You can have a look and understand them. So let us today talk about business risk. What is business risk? Risk, as we all know, business risk is the possibility or the probability of losses or even inadequate profits due to any unexpected event which are beyond the control of a businessman. So three important things we've discussed: that risk is all about chances of losses or inadequate profits. That is number one, which come due to uncertainties and unexpected events. So events which are not predicted before, events about which we had no knowledge, and which are out of our control. We cannot handle them. We can always try to mitigate, to lessen the effect, but we cannot always control them fully. So that is risk. Risk is the chances of losses or inadequate profit due to uncertain events. Based on that, we classify risk into two types: speculative and pure risk. Speculative, as the name suggests, to speculate means to guess. So under speculative risk, there can be chances of losses and also there can be chances of gains. For example, if I take up the corona times, what we are going through right now, in this time there are certain companies who are earning even profits. So companies like Netflix, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Meets, these are the companies that are, the subscriptions have increased. So these companies during corona times, their profits have gone up, which was not expected that the profits will go up during these pandemic times. On the other hand, there are companies like Make My Trip, Trivago, and other travel and tourism countries who are into major losses because no one is now interested in traveling because of the pandemic all over. So the speculative risk means it can involve a possibility of loss and gain, and it can arise due to changes in the market condition, changes in the taste and the preferences of people, likes and dislikes, fashion, etc. The other side, I would not say opposite, but the other type of risk is a pure risk. Now, since it is pure, there is only and only chance of loss. The amount of loss can be more or less, but there will surely be loss. This can come up due to fire, theft, strike, etc. In all these conditions, even if there's fire, theft, strike, any of this, there will always be loss. The amount of loss may vary, but there is going to be loss. So those were about the types of risks. Let us now talk about the nature or features of business risk. So there are four features, or we can say four characteristics or nature of business risk, starting with it arises due to uncertainties. Now see, if the future is predictable, if the future is certain, there will be no risk because we'll be in advance prepared, will be prepared for what is going to happen in future. But because the future is uncertain, because the business environment is uncertain, we do not know what is going to happen tomorrow. We cannot predict accurately at what time and what intensity tomorrow the earthquake will come. So because the future is uncertain, there is business risk. So risk arises due to uncertainties. And sometimes these uncertainties are completely out of our control. Second, it is the essential part of every business. We already know this, that there is no business under the sun that has no risk. So risk is an essential part of every business. The next point is degree of risk depends upon the nature and the size of business. So that is pretty clear. The risk will depend, the degree of risk will depend upon the size and the nature of business. Bigger the business, bigger or the higher is the degree of risk. And smaller the business, smaller is the degree of risk. So higher the investment, higher risk, lesser investment, lesser risk. Simple as that. Talking about the last feature, profit is the reward for risk taking. That means if you do not take risk, do not expect any profit. Profits will happen only when you start off the business, you start off the venture, you take that risk, you plunge into it, and then what you earn is profit. So profit is the return or the reward for risk bearing. Talking about causes of business risk, so there are primarily four causes or four reasons of business risk: natural, human, economic, and the other causes. Natural causes are beyond the control of human beings. So natural causes will include natural calamities like floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, etc. They will lead to huge losses, and they result in not just loss to property, but it can also lead to loss to life and income of business. Next, let us talk about human causes. Now, human causes or human reasons of risk arise due to sheer human negligence, carelessness, dishonesty, or even maybe ill intentions. All these can also lead to business risk and business losses. Third one is the economic causes. Now, economic causes include all those chances of loss due to change in the market conditions, maybe change in the price, demand for goods, the likes and the preferences of people, change in fashion, technology, and also change in the government policies and rules are examples of economic causes. Last but not the least is the other causes, which include any other factors that may lead to a business risk. So a business may suffer huge losses due to just change in the exchange rate, or just let's say mechanical failure in a machine. if there's agar machine chalte chalte ruk jati hai, तो there's a mechanical failure. It may not be caused due to any human error or natural cause. It may just stop. Since it is a machine, chalte chalte ruk sakti hai, so that can be the other cause of business risk. That's all for this part of the chapter. Thank you very much for watching my video, students. I hope you've liked the video and understood every topic that has been covered. Please leave in your valuable feedback and comments in the comment section. Also, do like and subscribe to my channel, Neha Jani Classes. Thank you very much and have a nice day.